If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you.
The one thing that I respect about Your Excellency and Turkey is he wants to make the best fights. That's basically it. And a lot of fighters, you know, they outprice themselves, therefore the fans lose, and we can't watch those fights. But now Turkey's coming in, paying money, but he's not paying absurd amounts of monies that fighters are not, you know, worth. He's being reasonable. He's paying premiums, but perfect example is Canelo wanting $200 million to fight against Crawford. In other words, that means he doesn't want to fight. That's basically it. So I just feel that Turkey is a breath of fresh air. He's making the fights that people want to see, and we're all working together.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, would you know you would take all that money that he's offering you, but yet and still he want 200 million for Ben Vides, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. The one thing that I respect about Your Excellency and the Turkey is he wants to make the best fights. That's basically it. And a lot of fighters, you know, they outprice themselves, therefore the fans lose, and we can't watch those fights. But now Turkey's coming in paying money, but he's not paying absurd amounts of money that fighters are not, you know, worth. He's being reasonable. He's paying premiums. But perfect example is Canelo wanting $200 million to fight against Crawford. In other words, that means he doesn't want to fight. That's basically it. So I just feel that Turkey is a breath of fresh air. He's making the fights that people want to see, and we're all working together. Surprisingly, a low shik of Turkey seems to have ended any possible future work relationships with boxing hero Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez turned his back on the idea of working together on any terms other than his own, so Alao Sheikh attacked him. The incident occurred during a press conference in Beverly Hills where Canelo Alvarez was promoting his upcoming September 14 fight against Edra Bunga. When questioned about a possible offer from Alao Sheikh to fight Terence Crawford, Alvarez said that he didn't agree with Al's Sheikh's method. I don't really care about it. Look at I'm focused 100% on my fight, and I don't really care about it. They called me yesterday. They text yesterday. If it's possible to talk about the CRA for fight for Fieri or meet to yesterday here in Los Angeles with him, and I say, look, I'm 100% focused in this fight, and I can talk about other fights. Maybe that's why he talk about that to today, because I saying I'm not ready to talk about other fights, and I don't really ask him for anything. I'm good due to the difference in weight classes. Alvarez didn't want to fight Crawford. However, the Mexican star earlier said he would consider the fight for $150 million Johnny Boy boxing fight. Hip, I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance? And do you want to get a fight with him? Is if the money is right, I mean $100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already during the Frank versus Profit fight. Al Sheikh himself said that he had offered the Crawford fight to Canelo. Are we going to see Terence Crawford versus Canelo? As I tell before to the ASN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it. However, Canelo's request may come off as a less than sincere ask, and Alao Sheikh has apparently moved on from the possibility since the Mexican legend made the statement. Alao Sheikh used social media to chat about what was going on in his boxing career. He said he no longer wanted to meet Canelo. He posted, just wrapped up an important meeting now with my team, planning for the future fights that we will make for 2024 to 2025. This statement marked the end of the possible mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford sparking discussions across the boxing community. Alo Sheik's tweet revealed a deliberate pivot toward the U.S. market, emphasizing his intent to create more important chances for boxing legend Terence Crawford. All further added, I chose to disregard the Canelo fight as I don't want it anymore. Instead, I will be focusing on the U.S. market with bigger fights, especially for the legend Crawford. Canelo didn't like the way Turkey approached him for the future fight and said that if the Saudis want to work with him, they have to work on Canelo's term. In reaction, Alo Sheik, who has gained prominence in the boxing world with major funding from the Saudi crown, publicly accused Alvarez of avoiding challenging fights. Alo Sheik's response seemed to close the door on any future partnership. Turkey posted, I heard what Canelo said, that he respects me but doesn't like the way we do business. Is for him respecting me, it doesn't matter to me if he does or not. Is for the way I do business. I know why he doesn't like it, because I only target big fights at fair prices, so of course anyone who likes easy fights won't like that. He further continued, and I know how he feels after losing to Bevell, so he's been looking for easier fights ever since. Also, I'm not the one who's afraid of fighting David Benovitz or CIT, therefore I knew he was wasting our time and making excuses with big amounts of money that can't be paid. So I'm continuing my way to make big fights that serve the boxing world, and he's on his way to making easy show-only fights. Canelo Alvarez, in reply to His Excellency's critical post with a crying emoji signaling his indifference about his views. Indeed, Alvarez doesn't seem bothered by Turkey's comments because he needs him and not vice versa. It's crazy, and it makes me laugh with all the antics that Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot about the size, and he won't get no credit and all this type of things. But Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career. Canelo been making his own catchweight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir, not Amir Khan, but yeah, Amir Khan. He did at 155. Amir Khan, you know, he fought Jamal Charlo, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money with all those guys except Mayweather, even Berlanga right now, that he will with me. But yet and still, you know, he have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, would you know you would take all that money that he's offering you. Eddie Hearn thinks Canelo's money demand is because of the risk he'll take in order to face an opponent like Crawford, who would have to jump to more divisions to face Canelo. Oh, I mean, it's one for him. I mean, I wouldn't think that Canelo watched Crawford on Saturday and was afraid of fighting him at 68. I think for Canelo it's more about the credibility he gets through victory. I think he's a little bit concerned, having spoke to him in the past, that if he beats a guy that's coming up from 147 to 168, is he really going to get the respect for that? So we'll see. I mean, money talks, you know. If it's the right deal, he'll always say F all of this did not stop the Mexican from giving his thoughts on CIT's recent win against Madonna. Canelo stated, for me, that I think that CRA had lost a fight, or it was a draw, or it could be the other side. He knows why weight classes are there now. Yeah, he has been bringing my name a lot lately because he wants to sell the Madma fight. If they don't talk about me, they don't sell anything. If the money is right, I don't like athletes who move around the weight classes. There has been much pleading from fight fans and media for Canelo to test himself against the dangerous super middleweight David Novid, but Alvarez has called for a gigantic payday to take such a high-risk fight. Instead, the 34-year-old champion has bagged paydays against lesser competition despite public pressure. Someone who has never been shy to speak his mind, as former UFC 2 division champion Conor McGregor, who took to XCOM to share his thoughts on Canelo's selling power and about going head-to-head with the UFC on the same night as UFC 3006, which takes place at the $2.3 billion The Spear Show. Canelo is a cornflake, McGregor wrote. He continued, he has about 3 pay-per-view he buys in him. He does not produce anything near what he seeks to be paid. UFC once is going to run them from the strip. Turkey. Alo Sheik was right. Moving on, Canelo doesn't sell. Oscar de la Hoya thinks that Canelo is outpricing himself and criticized him for asking for $150 million to fight Crate. Oscar thinks that AOW Sheik is right for calling out Canelo's ridiculous to man right. Turkey's not interested in making Canelo Crawford. Maybe Virgil Crawford, if you know Virgil gets P. Absolutely. I think look, the one thing that I respect about Your Excellency and the Turkey is he wants to make the best fights. That's basically it. And a lot of fighters, you know, they outprice themselves, therefore the fans lose and we can't watch those fights. But now Turkey's coming in paying money But he's not paying absurd amounts of monies, that fighters are not worth. He's being reasonable, he's paying premiums, but perfect example is Canelo wanting $200 million to fight against Crawford. In other words, that means he doesn't want before his fight with AEL Sheik. Canelo claimed that Crawford would be an easier battle for him. Canelo added, I think Crawford is a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but for me in my weight class it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money's right I'm in. I don't like fighting guys like Crawford because he moves so much and the fight isn't really good. I watched this last B and he doesn't move too much anymore. If the money is right I am in, why not? I know in his head he thinks he can do whatever he wants because he is so skilled, but that is why there are weight classes and he understands now Profit would need to go up to weight classes for the fight from super welter to super middleweight. Later in the interview Canelo highlighted David Novitz, who most in the sport think deserves his shot more than anyone else, and stated that he would fight for no less than $200 million. He went on to explain why he does not consider Crawford a risk. Canelo can't